So for today's card, I'm using the MFT Pure Innocence Pretty Pumpkin stamp set. And I stamped the little girl onto Copic quality white cardstock with my Memento Tuxedo black ink. And then the carved pumpkin face is actually a separate stamp, so you can use it, well, anywhere on the image you want or not use it at all, so it can be an all year sort of an image. But obviously, since this is a Halloween card, I stamped it onto her shirt to give her a little Halloween shirt. And I started off coloring in her skin first. So I did the E50, E21, E13, and R20 combo that I pretty much always use. I know I need to break out of my box and like start doing other skin tones, but yeah, especially when I'm in a hurry, I stick to what's familiar. So I did the skin, and then I'm going on to the hair, which is the YR12, and then I added a little bit of YR14. Just quick and simple. That's one thing I really like about these images. It's just the way they're drawn and just everything about them makes it really easy to color in. And yeah, simple is best. So then for her shirt, I decided to color it orange. So I'm using my YR04, 07, and 09 combo. And I colored right over the pumpkin face because I decided I was just going to color it in with black. So there was no point in like coloring around each part of it and getting really finicky with the coloring and taking forever. So I just colored right over it, didn't even worry about it. And then the bands for her skirt, I just did the YR09 because I decided as I was coloring that, you know what, I was going to paper piece the skirt just to give it a little extra something. So I left that for now, and I'm just going to finish coloring the image. So I used my C5, C7, and C10 combo to color in her little hair bow and her shoes. And then I used the C10 just to fill in the little pumpkin face on her shirt. And then once I've got that added to the shoe and the bows, I'm going to blend out that C10 with my C7 and then finally blend it all together with my C5. So really simple, and it just gives it that little extra dimension rather than just coloring it flat black. Like really when you're coloring black for the most part, in fact I almost never use my actual black Copic marker. I'm always using different shades of gray for it. So got that done, and then I inked up the stamp again with my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and then just stamped it onto a scrap of the pattern paper that I'm going to be using on the card itself. So once I got that stamped, I trimmed it out with my scissors, and then I'm going to just adhere it over the image with my go-to Tombow Mono Multi. So just like so. So she's got the cute little patterned skirt. And then finally, to finish everything off, I've got to add a little bit of shading. So I'm using my cool grays. Usually I use warm grays. That's kind of been my thing for a long time now, is to always use the warm grays. But since this is going to be more like black and white and orange color combo, I decided to go with cool grays this time. So I used my C3 and then added some C1 and C00 to blend everything out. Again, keeping her pretty simple. And yeah, then it's got this cute little Halloween girl image, which I think is just adorable. So I had die cut that white piece of cardstock with one of the dies from the MFT Blueprints 7 dynamic set, which I'm becoming obsessed with these dynamics, FYI. They just make it so much easier because you don't have to think when it comes to layouts. Because they provide the blueprints, the dies are there, so you just follow along and it makes things go so much faster. So that's what I did for today's card, because I was kind of just stumbling on a layout and just my brain's kind of getting mush. I've been going crazy the past few weeks trying to get as much stuff done as possible. So yeah, I pulled out the dies and die cut everything, and then the pattern paper is all from the My Mind's Eye Haunted 6x6, and I think this is one of the ones I picked up at Michael's last year. I'm not 100% positive, but yeah, that's the one it is, and I'm almost positive though that I got it at Michael's. So yeah, I die cut all the different elements for this layout with those Blueprints 7 dies, and then just following along with the layout that's provided, which I'll link to in my blog post. I decided on the card, and it'll make it a 5-inch square card. And then I decided to add a little spider. So that die is from the Paper Bag Peekaboos, which I'd shown in a previous Halloween video. I think I've used it a couple times now. I'm not even sure. But anyway, I die cut him from some black cardstock and then just added some more baker's twine so that he's kind of hanging from the baker's twine. And then before I adhered the little high tab, I decided just to back it with a tiny scrap of black cardstock. I just thought that would make it stand out a little bit more. So I did that, adhered it with the Tombow Mono Multi again, and then got that into place. And then I decided I wanted to make this piece a little bit more sturdier because I was thinking I was going to pop it up on dimensionals. So I just cut a piece of the MFT Tangy Orange cardstock, slightly larger than this die cut main image, and matted that So once I was happy with that, I quickly added a little bow of the baker's twine. Just tripled it up and tied it in a bow along the top there. Got that into place. And then I'm going to add my dimensionals. I've had people asking, I always link to these in the supplies, and it's pretty rare that I forget, but I get all my dimensionals from Jody's Sticky Stuff store, these big ones especially. I've never seen them anywhere else. I always just order them from her. And then I always cut them in half too, just to make them, stretch them a little further. And I purposely didn't put dimensionals right where the baker's twine would be, because that kind of pushes it up anyway, and then that way the whole main area there will lay flat on the card and not be all bumpy and weird over the baker's twine, if that makes any sense. So finally, I wanted to add a few little embellishments, so I grabbed my Bumblebee Doodlebug flatback pearls, but the shade of orange that they come in didn't really go with the cards, so I just quickly peeled a few off, put them on my little Tim Holtz craft mat, and then just grabbed my YR09 Copic marker and my airbrush, and I airbrushed them the color I wanted them to be. So really simple and quick, just easy to do, and it just gives them this really pretty, I didn't completely 100% coat them, just enough to get them closer to the orange that would match the card. And then again, I'm just using my scissors to peel them right off the mat and place them onto the card front, and that's all there is to it. So really fun. And then finally, I'm going to adhere that to my card itself, which I can't remember if I already said that, but it's a 5-inch square card. So got that into place. And then on the inside of the card, I used the exact same layout I used on the outside, and die cut one more little spider. And then I just stamped the sentiment from the Pretty Pumpkin set with black ink, just a little Happy Halloween. And then adhered everything into place, same as I did on the front, and that's all there was to it. So as always, like I said, there will be a link below the video to my blog post, and in the blog post I'll have links to all the supplies used. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!